You guys thought she was shit, right? Mark, don't look at me like this. You guys said it. You thought she was shit, right?
What did you do?
Yipee-Ki-Yay, Mr. Falcon.
I was given a gift recently that I didn't realize how awesome it was. My buddy gave me a
rage Carrie too.
yeah, kind of. My buddy logged me into his Shudder account, his AMC Plus / Shudder account when he was here, and I just been tearing through it, man. It's good because it's Halloween season, and I don't know, from like September 1st to Halloween, all we do is watch horror movies.
Yeah,
and I'm like out. I'm running out. I'm going back to like source material shit. I'm watching the old Universal ones. I'm starting to watch movies I didn't think I liked, and I'm revisiting them. And that brings us to The Rage, Carrie 2 from 1999. My God, man. First, I want to just the fact that this movie exists is kind of amazing. The title, first off, is pretty amazing. The balls to go with a new title and a subtitle of Carrie 2 is pretty impressive, I have to say.
Yeah, so I did a little bit of reading on this movie, and it's funny because it wasn't originally written to be tied to Carrie at all.
No.
And
okay.
Yeah, so like I think that the idea of doing that was sort of like, you know, they didn't intend for it to be a Carrie movie. They're tacking the Carrie on because at some point in the process, somebody was like, yo, bro, you're remaking Carrie here. You know that, right?
Interesting. But was it always like a telekinesis, I guess? That's why.
I don't know too much about what the original script would have been like, but it was definitely, I mean, I get more She's All That vibes than I do Carrie.
Oh, yeah.
From yeah, so.
But, you know, that does surprise me, though, because this isn't one of those movies that feels like an unauthorized sequel or like the studio just bought the rights to the sequel and then they just made it. Because there's two actors from the original in it.
Wait, I remember Sue. Who was the other one?
I looked this
up. Or are
we
counting like the Sissy Spacek flashback scenes?
But I was going to say that they had archival footage, which it gave it a sense of legitimacy. Like at least the studio that made Carrie knew that this was happening and said, okay, you know, which is 1999. This movie is a time capsule. I'll tell you that for
sure.
The way kids dressed, because 1999 was high school for us, and man, it is smack. So She's All That. What makes you say that? Like, I think I know what it is, but what?
She's All That. 10 Things I Hate About You. These were all movies during the time where we take like the weirdo and the cool kids like have some kind of bet that's like, hey, I can either get with this girl or I can make this girl awesome or whatever, and you know, like during the course of this, you know, wager, somebody really falls in love with the weirdo. And then there's like a moment towards the end of the movie where like the weird person finds out and like thinks that the person betrayed them. But then, oh, wait, no, it turns out I really loved you all along. That is the Rage Carrie 2 with our, all right, but I'm going to kill like the whole school ending tacked on.
I didn't even put that together. I wrote down during the intro to high school scene, you know, when the two protagonists, when the one protagonist and her friend show up to school for the first time, I'm like, this is like the beginning of Not Another Teen Movie.
Yeah.
Like, they're walking in and there's just random cheerleaders doing a routine on the lawn, and there's students doing all kinds of student things that nobody ever does out in front of school in the fucking morning. Like everywhere they go, there's some activity is happening that's supposed to be. There's a girl crying in the counselor's office when they walk past. When the girl goes up to the roof, there's kids tending the student garden. Like no matter what time of day it is, everything's always happening. It's amazing.
And I wonder, now that you mention, I didn't see the girl crying in the office. I wonder if that was another girl that they were messing with, you know?
I don't know.
They had their whole notebook worth of them.
Yeah, because girls are deeply abused in this movie. Like, ooh, man, I mean, so the beginning of this movie is a little nuts in 3 different ways, I think. So there's like a fake beginning, like a prologue of Rachel.
Yeah.
The protagonist's name is Rachel. She's the new Carrie. She's got the rage. And she also has a crazy mother. So we're not going to get too far away from the source material. And she's a little kid in her house, and there's a storm, and like the mom is painting a stripe of red around the room. And then next thing you know, she's getting carted off, strapped to a chair. They're taking her to the loony bin. And then Rachel,
which is named Arkham Asylum for some stupid reason, like implying that Batman exists in this universe.
What the fuck? Sue Snell just dropping shit. Like, yeah, you sent your mom to Arkham. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like Batman could have taken care of this whole thing. This movie could have been 5 minutes long.
I guess somebody was a Batman fan. I don't know. That came out of fucking nowhere. And then I guess we assume she was raised in a series of foster homes, and we meet Rachel, and she's a teenager in high school, and she's miserable. Her foster parents suck. It's kind of like the beginning of Rob Zombie's Halloween without all the redneck cursing. And she has her best friend is Mina Savari.
Mina fucking Savari. Wow.
Right? I don't know. I didn't even check. This was before American Beauty, I would think, right? Maybe.
Both before that and before American Pie. Mina Savari had an amazing 1999, let me tell you.
God damn. You know, she was in everything for a while, man. But this was a weird part for her because she's one of the outcast kids. Her and Rachel have like a matching tattoo, which is pretty intense for sophomores or whatever they are. And it begins with like she's all giddy on the bus because she lost her virginity and she won't say to who. And then the next thing you know, she throws herself off a fucking roof.
Yeah, which is weird. We're never given the conversation that leads to that. We're just left to know, okay, yes, they broke her heart, you know?
I thought that was kind of cool, the way they did that. But it's jarring when you go through it the first time. It's like all this stuff and you're expecting this slow build and like, no, she pitches herself off the fucking roof.
Yeah.
And that's devastating. That starts Rachel go, but it's the dude from Home Improvement that banged her.
I took notes while I was rewatching this, and I was like, the dude from Home Improvement would be so lucky as to bang Mina Savari. Right?
And it's the old, so everyone knows this isn't JTT. It's the oldest brother from Home Improvement.
Zachary Ty Brian.
He had three names too, that fucker? Okay. Yeah.
I think that was part of the naming convention of is he really?
He's not having a good time. Yeah, I saw his mugshot on Reddit. He's all gaunt and methed out looking. He's having a rough go of it, man. I don't know how many of those actors made it out of Home Improvement. Okay. I think the youngest son had problems too. JTT, really? he's fine, I guess. He just stayed short.
Doesn't want to do this stuff anymore.
Well, I've seen this movie before. All right. Mm-hmm. I saw this movie in the theater. I took a date to see this.
That's a bad date, let me tell you.
I mean, thank God we didn't really watch much of it, but Jesus Christ, man. I remember looking up to see the ending, the big salvo at the ending, and I just see the kid from Home Improvement get his junk ripped off with a spear gun.
Yes.
And I just,
by Fake Cher from the Clueless TV show.
Yeah, right, yeah. and then we did watch the rest of the movie after that. But you've seen this multiple times.
A lot. I was telling you, I've seen every Carrie movie once, and I've read the book once. But I have watched this movie like a good 15, 20 times. I don't know. It was like my guilty pleasure movie in the early 2000s. I don't know why. I don't know.
Well, I have movies like that, HBO would get the rights to a movie and they would play it like every 2 hours. So you ended up watching most of it often. But was that it or
that was probably part of it. Like I couldn't tell you why, but it was probably like the sort of thing where it was on and I was like, all right, The Rage, let's do it.
All right.
I don't know. Right. Yeah.
I also would like to point out that by the title, it's also ripping off of another famous telekinesis movie called The Fury. From 78. That one's more like Scanners than Carrie, but it's the same neighborhood. And I got to think that they knew about that shit.
I don't know. They didn't know they were ripping off Carrie until the last minute.
The clothing and the hair, we've got to talk about it for like a half a second.
You know what's funny about all that? I mean, I'll let you get to whatever you were going to say, but like, I'm so 90s. Like, I'm so 90s, early 2000s that unless somebody's got like the frosted tips, I don't even notice it as being like out of touch. I'm just like, oh yeah, it's how we dress.
Yeah, I guess I was looking for it because I knew what year this came out, and I knew it was from high school. And I just, man, in the first time you see him, Home Improvement kid, he's got this necklace. It's a ball chain necklace with black spacers between them. I'm like, ooh, I think I bought that from Spencer's at one point. And he's got the, the 90s hair. Everyone's wearing Vans or Airwalks. And it's just it's kind of remarkable. You didn't think we had a distinct, dress sense. I don't know. I know everyone talks about the style of the 90s and everything, but at the time it just seemed so plain, I guess it wasn't. Whatever.
Like those browns and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't dress like that. Me and my friends were fucking weirdos, but that's what all the football players dress like. So they got that right.
Yeah.
But, all right. So the football players.
Okay.
I couldn't help but thinking of that episode of Buffy when the group of students get possessed by the hyena spirits, and they're just like this gang of evil jackals just roaming around fucking people up, because they're like the most evil football players in history. Just
I
from
guess.
the get-go.
I mean, this is very like teen movie trope of like, I want to say like a Varsity Blues or something like that, where it's like the football team is life. The football team is like the heart of the town. Like we've got this small town where the football team is like invincible.
Yeah.
Where like even the cops are like, look, do we really want to mess with the season? These are some prominent families in town.
I know he ran down a fisherman in the wharf, but he's a starting quarterback. Can't we just let him go?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, a girl is dead, but hey, that's our starting running back.
Well, the original movie, the original Carrie, the whole original story is very much a woman's story. As a woman protagonist with the antagonist being her mother and the evil bitch from school. It's very much about female relationships. And this one seems to be, obviously the protagonist is still a woman, but this seems to be more about chauvinism and and just the horrible shit that men do to women sometimes. Often.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's very on the nose. It's very on the nose and very surface. Like they're not hiding it. They have a notebook they write it all down in a notebook, for Christ's sake. But I that's the weird thing about this movie. Like you said it. It's got that 90s teen movie tone most of the time. But then it's punctuated by these moments that just go a little further than you thought they would. Like when she jumps off the roof, you see her face all smashed up against the car windshield, and the kids come up and are taking a video of it and making fun of it, and you're like, damn. All right. Fuck.
I think like the defining thing here is high school sucks, man.
Yeah, dude. And
I mean, you mentioned the girls versus the boys thing, like the girls from the first one and the boys from the second one. I never really got why they bullied Carrie so much in the first one. And maybe that's just because I watched it once in high school and like never again. But like the girls were just so over the top for no reason. Maybe like one of the funniest, maybe I don't know if it was intentionally funny, but like one of the funniest lines in any movie I've ever seen is in the first Carrie movie, where the girl is giving John Travolta head and she's like, oh, Billy, I really hate Carrie White.
This is what you're thinking about?
Oh, yeah. Like she's manipulating him to be like, we got to like get this girl. But like the girls are just like so needlessly evil. Like, like they're throwing their tampons at the girl because she's having her period. And it's like, why? Do you not all have this problem? Like, know?
The movie... Yeah, it does feel like that in the movie, and I think part of it too is that they treat her like such a piece of shit. But Sissy Spacek is so pretty, like she's such a beautiful, and she's like at the peak of her beauty. There, she's so young and pretty, and you just don't get it in the book. they describe Carrie as being an extreme outcast. Like she's overweight, covered in acne, wears glasses. Like she's the stereotypical type of person that would get picked on in school. But and on top of it, she's ultra religious and has this crazy religious mother, and she doesn't do anything. And I don't know, man. Like when you're in a small town, I guess when you go to school with someone through your whole life, you know, and they're always the target. I guess that it just becomes, you know, second nature after a while for people. And I guess the idea of being, 18-ish and not knowing how any of that shit works and then just like bleeding all over the girls' bathroom.
Oh, what? She was supposed to be 18 getting her first period?
Well, they go to prom. Right. Like I always assume they go to senior prom. So like, and they say that she was late, really late to get it. So, I mean, is that the way you should deal with it when someone goes through something like that? No, but in the 70s, could I see this happening?
Were a wild time.
Yeah. Kids were older in high school in the 70s, man. I've seen the pictures. And, you know, and it depends, like, what like, you could drink at 18 in a lot of states back then, too. Yeah. And so, I mean, you're 18, you're still in high school, but you got a car, you got a job, you're drinking every night. You kind of feel like an adult, I would think. And then you're still a child in your head and you do horrible shit to people when they have their first period.
Yes.
Like that's the one thing I was kind of surprised at, because that was a big thing to do in the 90s with teen movies, was to connect something supernatural with puberty, with like the onset of puberty, or at least with losing your virginity, having sex for the first time. And this really, it leaned into it, but it was kind of tenuous. It was more, I don't know. I think that was the biggest weakness of it. Like Rachel almost became a fully developed character, but not quite, you know, and not.
I don't think the movie is competent enough to fully develop any.
No. It had no atmosphere. It had no, like the first Carrie was Brian De Palma. Like it was all atmosphere. You know, the camera, there's so many things to remember about it. This movie is so utterly forgettable.
Like, you know? I think they tried so hard, too. Like, you can see them. They're, like, trying to be all avant-garde. Like, every once in a while, they'll make it black and white for, like, no good reason.
What the fuck was that? They do it, like, twice, and then it never happens.
A lot more than twice.
What the fuck, man? That was so weird to me. That was so strange. I mean,
like, at first, I thought it was maybe just, like, dream sequences, but then no. And then, like, I was like, all right, maybe dream sequences and when she's using her powers. But no, it's just whenever they feel like it, you know?
Yeah, I thought I thought that was going to be their version of the split screen, you know, for when Carrie goes Carrie and, like, starts doing shit. But no, they just, no.
I honestly don't know who they thought this movie was going to be for. Because if you think about it, I mean, it's not really I don't think it's a scary movie by intention. Like, okay, the whole movie is this like She's All That meets Romeo and Juliet story. They even reference Romeo and Juliet like during the classroom scene.
That's the scene right before the suicide. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we get to the end and the guys have been so terrible all movie long for her that you're like, all right, kill him. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
and
so
they even roped some of their female
of
friends into it to help set her up at the end. Yeah.
Which is also weird, but yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But I was just like, who is this for? Because it's not for the horror people. Because they don't want like all the She's All That Romeo and Juliet stuff. And it's not for the She's All That Romeo and Juliet crowd, because they don't want to see like Rachel Blanchard rip off Zachary Ty Bryan's dick. So like, I mean, granted, I don't think this movie was a massive success, but who did they think this was for?
And it's also not for fans of the original Carrie who remember when Carrie came out, because they're old. They're not watching. It clearly wasn't for them. And even if you're talking about high school weirdos like me who liked Carrie back then, this was an abomination. If you're coming at it from that direction. And I mean, whew, boy. Okay. Yeah. Jeremy London is the one you do feel a little bit bad for, because he's a piece of shit in the beginning.
Jason London.
Is it Jason or Jeremy? Which one is in this?
Okay, so I have up on my screen the cast listing.
I had the tab, but I didn't have
just because I'm really bad
Jason
with names.
London. Okay.
So yes, yeah.
Okay, so him and his brother are twins.
Yeah.
Which one was in fucking Mallrats?
Jeremy London.
The other
So
one.
I brought
Okay.
I brought a Mallrats poster to like a monster movie convention once to get signed by Jeremy London, and the two of them are standing next to each other, and I felt so awkward because I have no idea which is which.
No
and
way.
I wanted to be like, look, one of you I loved in Mallrats, and the other one I loved in Carrie. But please, please let the right one take this out of my
Sign your
hands.
respective posters, please.
Yeah. I didn't bring a Carrie thing for Jason, but yeah, I didn't know who to hand it to, and they weren't helping. It's not like one of them saw that it was a Mallrats poster and stepped forward.
They still look alike. I know sometimes when twins get older, they start to diverge a bit, but
I mean, I didn't know which was which. I'm not going to say they looked
Yeah.
identical, but like, yeah.
yeah, if you don't know, huh? Well, okay. Well, do you know before the internet? You know how fucked up that? Oh, when I didn't realizing there were two people was a mind blowing experience.
It's one of those Mandela effect kind of things.
Yeah, that was one of those weird days on IMDb where I'm like, whoa, just got to question your whole life. Go back and think about every movie you've ever seen.
Yeah.
But again, to the punctuations of extreme awfulness.
Yeah.
This movie, I thought they were going to kill a dog. They come really close to killing a dog.
Yeah, they do.
They show a dog get hit by a fucking car, and it's not like there's screeching tires. You see the dog in the headlights. There's a thud off screen, and then they show it like get
Yeah,
run
they show
over
him
by
tumbling
the
around
fucking
under the car. And
you're
that's
like,
an old dog.
It's a
Because, like, that
basset
dog's been
hound.
with her since she was, like, a kid, you know?
It's like a foot off the ground basset hound. And I didn't remember that part when I saw it recently. And I watched, I'm like, oh, that fucking dog's dead. Holy shit, that dog's dead. I'm glad I didn't watch this with my wife. The dog's dead. And no, the dog lives somehow. I don't think you ever see the poor thing again, but they take it to the vet and they're like,
Oh, no, for sure you see it again.
do you see it
'cause
again?
It outlives her.
Oh, yeah.
The-
Yeah. That's right.
the dude
the
takes
dude
it in
has
in
him
the
at the
end.
end. Yeah, the London man has him at the end. That's right.
No, it's like this useless running gag throughout the whole movie where she keeps letting the dog out the window, and then the parents are like, "What? I heard a dog in here."
Yeah, the needlessly cruel step parents
Yes.
too, right?
Who only want her for her $300 a month.
Are we
But
gonna
at the
make
same
up that
time,
300,
care
Ma?
so deeply when she comes in the next
Yeah.
morning after having sex with the guy, slaps her across the face like, "We worried so much about you and our $300."
I guess they thought it would have been too on the nose if they'd made them religious nuts too, like Carrie's mom.
I guess.
All right, how about this? This was the golden moment of this movie. You've got Sue Snell, right?
Yeah.
The only holdover from the original. They got the same actress. It felt like she was going to have something to do with the ending. You know, she goes and retrieves Rachel's real mom from the psycho ward and like breaks her out and like brings her to the house party, which is
Yeah.
the stand-in for the prom in this movie.
Yeah.
Brings her to the house party and then she's fucking dead. Sue is dead.
Yeah.
She
I
rings
guess
the
her
doorbell.
whole
That was
thing
it.
was just to bring the mom. That was it.
I guess. How did that resolve? I think I might. Did she kill her mom? If you haven't seen this movie and it's 1999, it's from 99. Fuck you. We're spoiling everything. Did she kill her mom?
Oh, wow.
Right?
I'm having a hard time remembering that.
Like, I just watched this not long ago, and to my memory, she comes into the house, she sees her mom once, she screams for her, and then she gets pinned under that thing. And that's it. I think the mom just like wanders off into the countryside.
I mean, it would make sense, you know, because once she turns on the daughter, it's like, I mean, because remember when Sue's driving her around and she's like waving at all the people that she thinks are there?
Yeah, that's
The funny
right.
thing was, in the beginning, I thought that she, you know, like you think she's crazy, but at the same time, you're like, she might not be crazy because she thinks, like, she's telling people my daughter is making things move with her mind. And then they lock her up in the asylum, but she might not really be crazy. Like, you know, like one of those kinds of things.
Yeah,
But then you're
yeah.
like, oh no, she's actually crazy.
Yeah, she's not right. She's not good.
And the funny thing is, like, they locked her up for that, even though, like, in this world, according to Sue Snell, telekinesis is something that they acknowledge and study. Like, she, you know, she's got, like, the whole science of it broken down. She's like, it comes from the father. It's a recessive trait. You know, like,
There's
they knew
rules.
everything about it.
There's lore. There's rules. And
But, like, at the same time, they're like, what's this? It's called what? No, that's crazy.
But
And-
also, they live in a town where a girl, there's definitely people telling the
Yeah.
story about what happened to the old high school that's a
Yeah.
burnt ruin, but nobody knows. Like, nobody knows this. All right, why don't we just talk about this now? Rachel and Carrie are half sisters. Are you fucking kidding me?
I wrote that down. I was like, how old would Ralph White have
Yes,
had to been?
right.
And how young would Rachel's
Yes,
mother had to
you
have been?
You did
Yeah,
the math
like,
too. It doesn't work.
doesn't
Not only
work.
that, but they say that his last name was White. Right?
Ralph.
So that means
Ralph White.
the father marries Carrie's mom because her mom's last name was White. So one has to assume they were either siblings or they got married and she took his name sometime in the
crazy.
60s, right? Generously to have had a kid reach 18 in the late 70s. So knocks her up and then promptly leaves the psycho Jesus mom.
Which,
But
fair.
doesn't leave far enough, apparently stays in town. And then hangs out till the 80s when he knocks up Rachel's mom.
This guy's got game. Let me tell you. Like Al Pacino at 85 is about to have another kid.
So what I'm
So, I
imagining
mean-
it is Ralph is just this just fucking masculine monster of a man. Drives a big muscle car, greased up hair, and he just breezes into town every couple decades, knocks up a nice Catholic woman, and just fucking bounces again.
He's
and
just got
that's just
a thing
what he
for
does.
crazy.
Yeah. He's like that. He's like a rambling jazz man, maybe.
Yeah.
But either way, the whole fucking thing doesn't make
Okay, so they before we leave the idea of
Yeah.
like the age gap thing, a big part of this movie is the statutory rape because they needed a reason for the police to like
Correct.
really like come down on Eric's character.
Yeah.
And I kept asking myself, wouldn't it be the same thing with Jesse and Rachel? Because presumably Rachel and Lisa are the same age.
Right, and then
And
presumably
we know that
the football
Jesse is a
players are all
senior
the same
because he
age.
goes off to Stephen King University at the end of the movie 1 year later.
Right.
So like the whole movie, they're like talking about how it's like statutory rape that he's like, getting with a 16-year-old. And I'm like, but aren't we like, doing the same thing right now?
Yeah, they never touched on that. That was like the whole crux of the whole problem. And yeah, they never, they didn't worry. That was love though. That's okay. That was for love.
I guess. Speaking of love, all right. So my daughter is like in acting classes right now. She wants to be like a big theater person. And one of the things I tell her, whenever you hear these like really wooden performances is like, you want to be like in the moment of like your scene. Like you want the emotion that you're feeling to match what you imagine the emotion of a character is feeling.
Yeah.
And I thought about that a lot when Jesse is standing in front of his now mass murdering girlfriend. His life is on the line. He must convince her you are not some kind of a tool bet, joke thing.
Right, because
really
all the
love
evidence
you.
is pointing against him. They showed the video of
Yes.
them banging in front of the whole party. Everyone would believe he was in on it.
Yes. And what he pulls out is, I love you. No, seriously, I do. I love you.
I think he actually
What
said
the
seriously.
fuck?
I think he actually says seriously,
I kept
dude.
thinking of Eric Cartman. Yo, you guys, I'm seriously.
No, seriously, I love you. I really
I love
do.
you.
No, don't
love
fucking
you.
blow me. Don't rip my dick off. I love you.
I love you. No, I do. I really do. I mean it.
I saw what you did to that man and that poor girl with her eyeballs. Please don't do that to me.
Like this movie went through weeks of reshoots because it was like there's so much crap around this movie. Like they fired the director for creative differences. So one of those like Richard Donner, Richard Lester kind of moves. Like we had to bring in somebody else to reshoot half the movie.
Yeah, Islander
and I'm
Dr.
like,
Moreau,
and
yeah.
that didn't get reshot. Like all the things like that take was okay.
One has to wonder what revisions were made to the original
Oh
and
my
what
gosh.
I wonder who added the idea of the tattoo
Yeah.
that magically spreads over her skin when her powers erupt. That was one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever seen in a movie, man.
I think they needed her to look like a monster.
Yeah,
'Cause
I guess,
They
'cause they
wanted
couldn't
you to be
cover her in
afraid, I
blood.
guess.
Yeah.
Oh, they
I
could have
remember-
covered her in blood. I don't know why they didn't just do that.
They could have covered her in like a dude's blood, like someone's blood.
Yeah, exactly.
you know?
Yeah. Or even her own. They shoot her at one point, right? Like with the flare gun or whatever.
Yeah, in the gut. Yeah, she takes some damage. She does. Yeah. But while there was quite a bit of violence and blood, the whole, rampage at the end felt so weak compared to the original. Like if you're doing a comparison and contrast, like obviously the original is way beyond this movie in every way, but you'd think that the gratuitous violence and spectacle would have at least won out in this thing. And it just, like, again, it's a house party. It's not even the prom. Like, nothing burns down until the end. Like, I don't know. It just felt kind of just weak. The door kill, the double kill with Sue Snell was pretty cool. That was all right. And we're still talking about the dick getting ripped off. So that was a really good moment.
That lives rent free in my head.
The part where she breaks the girl's glasses and sends the shards into her eyes, that was pretty fucking hardcore. That woman was an asshole. That was the blonde chick with the ponytail, right?
Yeah. Rachel Blanchard's character.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because in the original Carrie, I kind of got why she needed to kill like most of the people in the school. You know, like they were all bullying her. You know, like at least all the girls. In this, there's really only a good like 4 people who are tormenting her. It's like the 2 boys and the 2 girls, and that's it.
Well, she kills like a bunch of teachers, and even that gym teacher who was like on her side, she kills her too in the original.
You're talking about Carrie?
Yeah, in the original.
Yeah, okay.
Like, she killed a lot of people in that gym.
Yeah.
Like, it's indiscriminate.
She's just like burn it all down. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But like Rachel, I didn't feel like needed to go to that extent. You know, like she's fine the whole movie. She has like one bad day and she just totally snaps and kills like, I don't know, 50 people.
Because like that's a good point. Like, talk about where they start from, Rachel and Carrie. Like, Rachel, okay, she's not the most popular girl in school, and she's kind of like on the gothy alternative side, but she's not a mutant. Like, she has a friend. You know, she has a style.
Well, more than one. She had Eddie K. whatever, also from American Pie.
The dude from American
Shipwreck.
Pie, right? Yeah, the one who banged Stifler's mom. Yeah,
Eddie K. Thomas, Arnold. I got it on the side.
I mean, she's basically the girl from Freaks and Geeks in the beginning.
Sure.
While Carrie can barely speak, and you know, and is like has this horrific mother, and like it's not even comparable. Like, I understand she had a rough childhood. She was raised in foster homes. She's not. But that also doesn't make sense. She was born in that town. She's raised by foster parents in that. How many foster families are in that fucking town? You know?
I mean, I guess, okay, so I did get the impression that, like, you know, there's like a poor part of town, let's say. And like, I could see the people being like, all right, look, they're going to give us $300 a month. Let's take it, you know?
They didn't do enough to make it clear, though. Like, again, like, we're talking about a movie that clearly went through a bunch of hands. God knows how many rewrites. Yeah. God knows what they did to it in the editing room. It makes sense that it's a jumbled pile of shit. But it was oddly entertaining. I don't know what it was. I think it was that rhythm. You know, like the goofy 90s movie, and then something horrible happens, and you're just like, what the fuck are they gonna? Okay, all right. I think if they had made it pay off a little more at the end, because there's no coda. Carrie had a coda. You know, she burns the gym down, and then she flips Nancy Allen and John Travolta over in the car, and it blows up, which is pretty awesome while she's walking down the street. That's a great scene. And then there's the whole thing with her mom. You know, there's a capper. Yeah. There's a, and this didn't really have that. She just kind of dies, and then we're left with the London guy and the dog.
Yeah, because they weren't going for Carrie. They were going for Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
They wanted it to be a tragic ending. You know, like the mom betraying her and Jeremy London. No, sorry, not Jeremy London. Jason London being left on his own, you know, to mourn. I don't know.
They should have both just taken the same screen name and just had one career together. You know, that would have been better.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if you pull these two together, they maybe have like one decent career, right?
Yeah. Well, there are 2 moments I made notes of in this movie that must be discussed in one way or another.
Wait, I don't want to leave the party yet. Like the
Okay.
So with Rachel snapping, she kills something like, let's say 50 people Would you say like arguably?
Maybe, yeah. On
right.
a higher end estimate, sure.
So keeping in mind that none of them really deserve it, only the 4 truly like earned it, right?
Oh,
But
yeah.
would you say that they were all like culpable in this? Because like, how weird is it that like you're at like some random party and they take like 100-inch screen and put like a video of 2 of your classmates fucking, and like you just keep partying like nothing's going on?
Yeah, it's another one of these things that I don't. Maybe it's from where you're from, but I've never witnessed one of these incidents where someone is being mercilessly bullied and a crowd gathers to chant. Right? Like, I've seen people gather around for a fight, and get like into
100%.
watching a fight until a grown-up shows up. But I've never seen this crowd encouraging of just plain bullying.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. Like, even then, like I remember the 90s. I remember what people were like. Like, if something like that happened at a party, you'd like go, "Oh shit, that's fucked up." And you might like you'll watch. Like, you'll watch, but you're not gonna like these guys. They're like laughing, like they're having sex. Like, it's so stereotypical, but that is what I guess is supposed to.
I was watching the background characters as that was going on, and it wasn't so much that they were laughing; they were continuing to party as if like the direction from the director was continue to dance. You're at a party, but like. You're extras, so don't like get involved, Like,
but it changes from scene to scene. If you look at the background
Yeah.
characters in different shots, they're like super engrossed in some, and they're just still partying to fake music in other ones.
Yeah, whereas in Carrie, they are like highlighting, like, you see everybody laughing. Like, they cut to all the different, like, I think they even shatter the screen and they show you like different, everybody laughing at the same time.
Well, they even show the teacher like laughing despite herself, right? Like, but in both movies, that's supposed to give the audience permission to make it okay for her to kill everyone. It's like, all right, they're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you. I
just didn't buy that Rachel should ever have like gone there.
When they started looping the audio from the original movie right then, that was so cheap. That was so cheap, man. Like, what else?
So you wrote down two things that you did not want to.
Well, while we're still talking about the party, I'll write the one down. It was about the blonde girl. What's her name? I forget her name already.
I'm looking for Rachel Blanchard's character name.
Yeah.
Here we go. Monica.
Monica.
Which apparently was a thing. Like, whoever did this, it was a deliberate nod to Friends that you had Rachel and Monica and the other guy was named Bing.
Oh, God. So the popular girl.
Who is this for? Not horror people.
Yeah. So the popular girl that Jason London is banging in the beginning. Tracy, Monica. Monica Tracy. Monica's like her best pal, right? And she's telling her how awesome she actually is. And she has this one line where she says, "You're caviar. She's cheese whiz." And she emphasizes the whiz like that. And I don't know what it was, but it made me want to fucking kill her. And
they're good heels.
it made the ending more satisfying for me. But every once in a while, you just got to wonder who tells these people what they're doing,
Yeah.
Geez whiz. Gee whiz. God, like, what the fuck? The other one is a much more obvious moment. The drop trowel moment.
Drop trowel.
Right?
I actually had a football coach in high school. I was on the football team for like a cup of coffee.
I think you told me this, yeah.
Yeah.
I tried out for JV once.
We didn't have to try out. They take whoever. But the football coach, I remember he was yelling at us, and he got right up in this guy's face, and he said, "If I make you drop trowel now, am I even going to find a penis?" And I remember, like, as much as you think this kind of thing is unrealistic, that straight up happened in the late 90s,
Yeah,
like,
but he made him do it, though, while they were watching film.
Okay, yeah, true. That was the difference between my story and his, was that we didn't progress to the actually taking the pants off.
And then he's specific about all of it, like underwear, too. And then he gets, like, inches. His face is inches from this boy's ass.
Yeah.
And the gross line, I guess the tampon line was a throwback to Carrie, huh? Yeah. What does he say? Like, I have to expect to find a string from a tampon hanging between your legs.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ, man. I was just like, wow. You reminded me of With the gym teacher from Nightmare on Elm Street 2 for a second. The S&M
I do not
dude.
remember A Nightmare on Elm Street 2 very well.
No?
I saw that one once, and I don't know. I've heard that if we were to watch it now, it may be aged a little better than people think.
Oh, there's a lot behind it. You should. That's an interesting entry. That's an.
I definitely
entry.
like. I mean, now that like the 4K editions are out, it might be good to rewatch some of those.
Yeah, but pay attention to the weird S&M gym teacher guy in that one.
That I remember. Like I remember, like they got the guy pinned up against the wall, and they were hitting him with, what was it, a tennis racket or something?
Yeah,
like,
all kinds of gym equipment, just whipping his ass with all kinds of shit. Freddie was doing it. It was great. Yeah.
I remember at the time. I don't remember what magazine it was, but somebody ranked that as the most homoerotic movie of all time at the time.
Well, a lot of people have come to see it as an allegory for wrestling with your sexuality in a lot of ways, and the director's like, I was going through that, so I didn't do it on yeah, I did it on purpose. Yeah, you're right. Nope. Yep.
Yeah, it's deeper than I intended.
Oh my God. But
you mentioned Tracy and Tracy and Rachel being like the two driving force women behind this, thing, and the Cheese Whiz line and everything. And it made me think like, so Tracy is the bet. Like she is the one that he actually earns 8 points for.
Right.
And she's totally fine with this.
Yeah.
Like
she helps.
Yeah. Like, and then the Rachel character, not Rachel,
Monica.
Monica.
Yeah.
You have to presume that at some point or another she's in this book, whether it's Jesse or somebody else. Like, it's a small town. There can't be that many women that they can all go through.
And it's not made clear like whose girlfriend she is, but she's just kind of attached to the group. So maybe they just share her. I don't know.
So it was one of those weird things. Like when you have a movie, like any movie really, generally speaking, your most attractive people are in the lead roles. Like if we were to just be objective, Emily Bergel and Mina Suvari are probably the most attractive people in the movie.
Yeah.
And yet they're like the cheese whiz that are like being crapped on. I don't know.
Well, they had to work to make them look shittier. Like you can tell too. Like she barely has eyebrows, it's like
I noticed that, and I don't think they did anything to make that. Like at first you think they shaved her eyebrows, and you're like, no, those are just her regular, like they could have darkened them for sure, but they didn't do anything to her to make her look worse.
No, I knew
As
a girl
matter
who
of
did
fact,
that in high school.
The whole movie I'm thinking like, your hair is fantastic.
That
Not
super
Mina
curly
Suvari.
stuff?
Yeah, Rachel's hair is amazing throughout that whole movie, but like Mina Suvari, they were trying to make like a train wreck.
Oh yeah, you could tell. Like they basically, she did a movie where she played a tweaker. Oh God, what was Spun? It was called Spun.
I didn't see Spun
with the girl from Clueless who died. Fuck.
Oh,
yeah.
Why am I thinking
Brittany
Murphy?
Brittany Murphy.
I love her. I miss her spirit.
Yeah, dude. She was good in so many things. She was in that. Mickey Rourke was in that. It was about meth heads in L.A. It was like one of those just frenetic drug movies. And she's a tweaker on a couch in pajamas through the whole thing. And the makeup they did to her, I'm like, I didn't know they could make someone that pretty look that awful. That's fucking amazing. Don't do meth, kids. And
don't do meth.
What's his name from Patrick Fugit is in that too, all methed out. He's wearing a pilot's cap playing a video game through most of the movie. And he's, all zits and fucking sallow. That's an interesting movie. I think
I'll have to check it out. I do love Brittany Murphy. We lost her in the weirdest way possible. It was like every celebrity that dies like around that age, it's drugs. But in her case, it was like she had a shitty apartment and like there was asbestos or something, and like she complained to the super and they didn't do anything or whatever it was. And then
she
just
was
died.
Poised to have a very interesting career, I think, because she was just getting better.
Yeah.
As she
progressed.
8
Mile and Clueless. Yeah.
And Sin City. She was great in Sin City, man. That was one of the last things I remember her being in that I liked a whole lot. Yeah, that sucked. Yeah. We lost a lot of actors this year, but at least they're mostly were old. It sucked, but none of them
I can't
were
think
a
of anybody.
huge
Hulk
surprise.
Hogan is coming to mind, but that's about it. Thunderlips, baby.
Yeah, still that wasn't a huge surprise either, man.
Nah.
He's up there, and I mean, for all the steroids that man probably did, he made it pretty far. and all the
Not
hair
probably,
dye.
admittely.
Yeah,
there
and
was
all
a
the
whole
hair
case.
dye, you know, and everything. The bronzer, just the bronzer alone. The tanning beds. My God,
Catches
the
up with you,
tanning
kids.
beds.
It catches up with you.
Thunder lips.
In the flesh, baby.
That has to be. Everyone talks about the robot from Rocky IV, but that has to be one of the most ridiculous things in the series. That whole sequence, man.
I want to know the premise, like what they thought was going to happen, because it's basically an MMA fight with a pro wrestler. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like I know they did charity things like that back then, especially when wrestling was what it was at that era, but it's just weird. The fact that Mick is like dying on the edge of the fucking that makes it even weirder. It's like, oh,
You ever
during
seen
this
No
whole
Holds Barred?
spectacle. No, I don't think so.
Oh, you got to watch No Holds Barred.
What is
In a conversation about the Rage Carrie too, like this is along the same lines. It's one of those like, I don't even know that you would call it a guilty pleasure. It's not all the way to the room. It's just, you know, like one of those things that's like.
Oh, I've seen clips from this. So this is where those clips come from. Oh,
it's
my.
bad in the funniest ways. I don't know.
Well, I haven't seen that many Hulk Hogan movies. I guess when I revisit Suburban Commando, I'll take a look at this.
Yes. Yes.
The Rage,
but the Rage Carrie
2. All right.
You know what's interesting? So we talked about how it's kind of amazing that we saw this in the first place. It is amazing that we saw this in the first place, because with all of the stops and goes that the production had problems with, the producers and directors had said, if this took any longer to get finished, you would have never seen it. And you know why? Because 3 weeks after this comes out, the Columbine incident happens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, maybe that's why. Oh.
And now we've got a movie where a girl like kills half the school. Well, not even half the school. Like whoever's at this party, like 50, 60 kids. But like, they were like, we would not have been able to do that. Like we would have shelved the whole thing forever.
There were a lot of movies that had to get tweaked or pulled for a while when that happened.
I remember the big thing with The Matrix. Like everybody had like the trench coats in that movie, and that was like a big deal.
Yeah, that had just come out not long before.
Not that they did anything
thing.
to edit it, thank God, but like,
No. Oh God, I remember that.
I don't know how you'd edit that. Like, you just start cropping
Yeah.
the whole movie so that you don't see how far down the coats go.
Yeah, that all tracks. I was a sophomore. Yeah, I remember that vividly. Jesus.
Yeah.
Ugh, that was a weird time.
A weird time indeed.
All right, so there have been a number of Carries. Have you seen them all? The remakes.
Yes. Yeah.
So where does this weird sequel, fall in the rankings? Is it at the
You're
bottom?
asking me to rank the Carrie films? Holy shit.
Yeah, like real quick rank. We'll include this. We'll include the made-for-TV version and the remake.
Okay.
And then Rage.
I guess I didn't mind the Carrie remake, the Chloe Grace Moretz thing. I'm not going to say it was great. It wasn't, like it's not even like, Stephen King disowned all of these. But I didn't dislike it. I think it took itself more seriously than the original was. You certainly don't have like the kind of moments where somebody is giving head to somebody else. Like, I hate Carrie. Why?
I think that it had a little less toothy than the original. I don't think it was willing to go as far in a couple ways.
I don't think
that's
any
just 'cause of
movie
when
that
it was
tries to
made.
remake something from the 70s ever goes as far. Like you think about The Last House on the Left, and
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
you can't go as far as this. Like I'm convinced there were no rules in the 70s.
They remade. They even remade "I Spit on Your Grave." You know that,
Yeah.
and then they made sequels to it.
And I mean, no, I was gonna say The Evil Dead, but The Evil Dead 1 was like 82, right?
Yeah, there's like 8 years between those two.
Yeah.
All right. That's probably an unfair question.
All right, so I mean, yeah, I would say, like the originals. I'm probably gonna throw that up as the best, but I think I like the remake more. I think it takes itself a little bit more seriously. I like Chloe Grace Moretz. Who was the mom? Was Julianne Moore in that movie? I feel like
Julianne Moore
that's
was the
coming to
mom
mind.
in the remake.
Yeah.
Yep. She was good. She was very good, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked it enough. So it would be the two of them, And then I don't remember liking the TV thing at all. And like, this is obviously bad, but like I've seen it so many times. Like, if I'm being honest with myself, this is the movie I like the most out of the series. Like,
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't know why.
If you watch it so many times,
I just unapologetically love this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can't tell. I was shocked when you mentioned the movie because I was like, I didn't think anybody else knew this thing existed, like,
Same.
including the people who were in it. Like, I'm sure
Yeah.
if you went up to Emily Burgle and was like, "Yeah, I loved you and Carrie too," she'd be like, "What the hell was Carrie too?"
It's deeply forgettable. It's totally forgotten, especially because it's a sequel to something that should never have had a sequel. And there's been so many remakes of the original, it just got lost in the sauce, I think, man. But we remember.
Like, nothing about this movie like makes any sense at all. Like, as soon as you start like really thinking about it, like, Rachel is just totally chill hanging out with these people like 3 days after her best friend dies, like,
Gruesome.
one of which is
In
like
front of her.
culpable in this. Yeah, like,
Yeah, she takes no days off of school. None.
and they apologize. They're like, "Yo, sorry about all that." She's like, "Yo, it's okay. Just get me a beer." Like, I mean, they invaded her house. Like, I tell you, like, the line where the guy like speaks in the Donald Duck voice and is like, "How do I sound like?" That lives rent free in my, like, that's part of me.
Well, he does the scream line on the phone in that voice, right?
Yeah, what's your favorite scary movie? He says it is like the Donald Duck movie.
I
Like,
can't do it.
I can't do. I wish I could.
I can
I
quack.
used to do a
that's
really
it.
good Goofy. Like, I could do it in Goofy's voice. But like, it's crazy that she's just like okay with this. She just goes with the flow.
Yeah, because
The
what we're
other thing
talking
that,
about
like-
is they surrounded her house and like
Yeah.
terrorized her.
They're
And-
bashing the windows in with like
Yeah.
baseball bats and everything. I mean, their entire plan to get her to this party hinges on the idea that the scout is really into Jesse. And I'm like,
That's
what if
right.
the scout was not into Jesse? Like, it's amazing that a scout would really be interested in a high school student in the first place. But
Well, I guess the plan was for Monica, the other one, whatever, the
Tracy.
brunette, Tracy,
Yeah.
Tracy, for her to distract him no matter what, while they got her to the party and abused her.
And how did they think that was going to work? Because, okay.
I don't know.
So they, because he's being distracted by the scout, they're able to slash the tires on his car and do all that.
Yeah.
We don't implicitly find out that like it was them that did it, but like, let's
Yes, we
be
do.
honest.
Yes, we do. She
Oh,
did it.
did we know?
You see her drop the can of spray paint as she drives away. Yeah.
Okay.
They made
All
it.
right.
They made it super clear that she was being
Okay.
evil. Yeah.
So had he not been like with the scout, they would not have been able to do that, because the second
Probably.
he walks out the door, he would have just like, Tracy would have been like, "Hey boy," and he would have been like, "Get out of my face."
Right,
Like,
right.
I'm sure he would have done
everyone
it politely,
else has
but
to, and everyone else has to be gone for him to get in her car.
Yeah.
Right. So
because there's no
yeah.
way he's and then she tries to seduce him with the most unseductive dress of all time. And I
She
know
just
it's
takes her
weird
shirt-
for an
she-
adult
she
to be
just
like
takes her
talking
top
about
off. That's her whole game. She just takes her top off and she's just there in a bra and he's like, "Okay, so all right, fine. I'll just put a dress on." It's
And I
so
mean, this guy is like a
stupid.
saint. He's just like, "Yeah, no, can we leave?"
Yeah,
Like, you know?
yeah. Man, he's just so into Rachel, dude. Just
There's
so into
nothing
Rachel.
about this plan that should have worked.
No,
And
well, it's
I
you
guess
know
it
what it's almost
does.
like. It's almost like there was a script that they rewrote like 8 times, and then switched directors in the middle. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, yeah. I'd love to know, like, I'd love to know how far the movie originally went in terms of like being Carrie like
Yeah.
for them to be
Yeah.
like, you're basically remaking Carrie here, you know, without remaking Carrie. There must have been some like telekinesis and all of that, or like, you know, attacking the kids at the school.
Yeah,
But
I'd love to know.
I'd love
you
to.
know,
I'd love to know. I'd love like one of those like deep Criterion documentaries on
the
Rage Carrie 2.
They've done weirder deep dives in the fucking 4K releases, man. Some of the
I
movies
mean, these
they put out.
yeah,
Yeah.
like these days, like they're just getting the scraps of whatever the studios don't want to do
Well, dude,
themselves.
I was poking around looking for Psycho sequels, right? Just because I was watching a documentary about
they
horror
made that box
movies.
set.
I was stunned. I'm like, I'll probably find a DVD, you know, with like all of them together, which I did find for $8.
Yeah.
But then I found Arrow made a whole set of just the sequels.
Yeah,
Just the 3 sequels in a box
because
set.
they weren't going to compete with the Universal Psycho one.
Yeah. And, but they're like 8. I'm like, wow. I never would have thought. Never.
I was super excited recently because the digital retailers started selling Psycho 4. And I thought I was the only one that knew that one, too. That was one of those like made-for-TV movies.
Is that
was
the one?
Was it radio?
The
He's
host?
telling the story. Yeah, I guess he would have been. Yeah,
he calls into the radio show. Yeah.
He's telling the story, and it's like the prequel almost.
I like
but
that
he's like
one.
telling the backstory.
Yep.
Yeah,
I like that one. I remember seeing that on TV late at night one time, and I was like, "Whoa!" Yeah, 1990 that came out.
Yeah. So we are getting weird movies. You know,
I'm into it. Yes, I was right. The radio host, CCH Pounder.
Was it 1990? Right. Were you right about that?
Yeah.
I feel like it should have been later than that.
It was 1990, and it was Henry Thomas played the young Norman Bates. That's cool. He was the...
and they did get Perkins back for all of those sequels.
Yeah. The second one was good, actually. Psycho 2 was actually pretty fucking good. I will
I'm not
say.
going to give them enough credit on all of them.
No, the rest were garbage. The second one, I have to admit, they did a pretty good job, and the script was decent. And Meg Tilly was awesome. She was in that. Meg Tilly. And Dennis Franz. What a cast. What a cast. All right. Well, that's it, man. The Rage, Carrie 2. It's a classic.
I highly recommend watching this movie.
Yeah, we'll talk about this when it's on 4K. Special edition Steelbook.
Fingers crossed.
All right.